I recently bought a PlayStation 2 and decided to get these after reading a lot about how this might help the overall quality of how the games looked. Games were very blurry. I know the PlayStation 2 gaming quality can only be improved so much. I have to say that PC component cables really improved the quality of how my games look. Initially I hesitated buying these because I know there are other component cables out there cheaper than these, however I do just want to say that the extra dollars spent are worth it. I highly recommend these cables to anyone out there undecided. Disclaimer, this is simply a review from my personal experience and point of view. Cable is thick and heavy, due to the shielding, but both the composite, yellow, and component, red plus green plus blue, output look clean, noise-free, and stable when hooked up to an original fat PlayStation 2 for upscaling to HDMI for modern TVs. Due to the cable weight, I would recommend supporting the cylindrical wire protector and male connector and not leaving the cable in tension. Note, the male connector to the console was bent inwards on the bottom when I received the cable, but it was easily bent back into place with pliers and a light touch. Since the cable works great, I did not dock a star but something to watch for before inserting the cable into your console. I purchased these cables to use for my slim PS2. The picture quality is way better than composite on both my CRT and HD LCD TVs with these cables. It is well-made quality cables. I also noticed it also has a yellow option for using it as a composite, which is a nice addition. I don't have a PS3, but works great on my slim PS2 and highly recommend it. This cable, I read the reviews and looked at pictures of this cable for $11.99. You can't be wrong, this company TNP Direct made a quality product. I'm playing on a Sony TV, so with this cable it's now all crystal clear and in focus like how it used to be on the old tube TVs with standard AV, but for HD it's like playing a modern day game and can't play my PS2 without this cable. It has spoiled me. Note, it's not gonna turn any game into 1080p like Chew. Games that look better with this are GTA 3 and GTA VC and GTA SA and Orphan Scion of Sorcery. I also tried True Crime New York, but even though it's clear that game just wasn't designed right, terrible graphics, the developers rushed that game. I recommend this cable to everyone I know. Just make sure you take your time and plug the cables in the correct order. I accidentally switched the two reds and it made Vice City look blue, but I realized my mistake and corrected it, and bam, it looks normal with the pink heads-up display on the top rig. I ordered this Monday night and received it on Saturday. This is very fast for free shipping and no minimum order. I was very happy about this. However, when I plugged everything in, turned TV on, switched TV to composite input, and turned PS3 on, nothing happened. I thought I had received a dud. I did a Google search and discovered that in order to switch PS3 to composite output you have to hold the power button down when you're turning it on until you hear the second beep. I did this and now the video was working, but it was on standard definition. So I went into the PS3 display settings and got it to display in 1080p. Everything works perfect now. I hope this helps anybody that's having problems with errors. My HDMI port on one of my PS3 Slims died recently, and I looked into having it replaced. The answer I got was that it would be better to scrap my PS3 and just buy a new one. I looked at videos on how to replace it myself, but it looked like quite the task. Given that the composite cable that comes with the PS3 outputs such a crappy low-resolution image, I figured I'd have to crack that baby open and risk screwing it all up. In my search online for a replacement HDMI port, I came across these cables. I put my project on hold and ordered these bad boys just to try them before I started melting away the solder. Some people were saying they output a 1080p image, but I had my doubts. This cable arrived today. I was initially pleased by the quality of the product. I had read that someone said these were cheap, thin cables. No. They're well built and pretty hefty. But I needed cables that work. I plugged in my PS3 and checked out the image on the TV. Yep, it was the horrible looking 480p resolution that the composite cable outputs. But then I remembered reading that you have to adjust the display settings on the PS3 to get 1080p. Sure enough, I changed the settings, and boom. I was getting an image indistinguishable from HDMI. Beautiful. I am so happy I don't have to try my hand at repair, try to find another shady repairman, or buy an entirely new system. For under $13, my PS3 is back in business, as great as ever. I am now placing an order for a second cable as a backup. If you find yourself with a broken HDMI input on your PS3, search no further. This is the solution to all your worries. I love this product. I have recently been playing with my PlayStation 2 a lot more than my PlayStation 3 or 4. My wife loves the games on my PlayStation 2, so we didn't like the way the games were looking, so I ordered this high-definition wires and love it. Recommended to everyone. I actually have my great product with sheet on time, and my video viewing is great now on my PlayStation to recommend for anyone who is looking to put on PlayStation 2 or even 3. Only set it up today, so cannot speak to its longevity, but this cable did exactly what it was supposed to, allow HD from a PS3 on a TV with no HDMI ports. The picture was great, especially compared to the composite cable that had been being used. I want to point out that the cable we received appeared very high quality. It is not as appears in the picture, but rather has braided covering and seemed very thick and sturdy. After reading reviews for this and other PS2, PS3 cables, I was worried about low quality, thin cables. That is not a concern with this cable. Time will tell, but for now it is great. It made a difference like everyone says it does. And this particular choice works as it should. If you're new, the colors match up. Do not overthink it. You won't break anything and the wire will not break anything. Go ahead and mix up the wires on your way there. You're okay. Now, listen, if you adjusted your PS2 settings, then switched from the default composites to these components, and you have a green screen, loosen the end that plugs into your PS2 a little bit. It was super tight when you put it on, which guarantees that it won't go anywhere. After you loosen it just a tad, the green screen problem will vanish. Click link in description for more reviews.